Let's stick a toe in the rabbit hole. Let me build this up. So the second to last scene in Inception was they were on Fortress Mountain attempting to implant the idea, okay? And basically they were making their way up to Mount Zion. They were making their way up to the pineal gland, right? The seat of the subconscious mind to implant this idea. Okay, that's why it had to take place in a dream because the pineal gland administers the dream. So if you cut the DNA, then you can essentially hijack the pineal gland in a way. With that being said, generative AI tools marks a milestone in biology. Trained on a dataset that includes all known living species and a few extinct ones, Evil 2 can predict the form and function of proteins in the DNA of all domains of life and run experiments in a fraction of the time it would take a traditional lab. With AI, we can search for patterns in all that code and use it to predict what the next nucleotide in the sequence is likely to be. In this way, Evil 2 is able to write new genetic code that has never existed before. For anybody that is not aware, your DNA is pretty much just a cocktail of A, C, G, and T nucleotides. Now, if you imagine DNA as the characters in a book that is 1 billion letters long, the individual genes are the words. They are spelled differently. Some have more letters than others, and they have different purposes and meanings. That is, they have different functions. If you want to design a new gene, you prompt the model with the beginning of a gene sequence of base pairs, and Evil 2 will auto-complete the gene. The fuck? Sometimes that completion will look exactly like a gene found in nature, but other times the model will make some improvements. Pause to read this extra bit. So with quantum computing can can alter the foundation of our reality. Quantum physics studies our physical reality. Computers can manipulate our quantum realm. It can alter molecular structures. Kind of looks like a silo, right? Kind of looks like what the Power Rangers had Zordon in, right? Oh, Jellyfish looking ass. Optimus Prime looking ass. Doom Final Boss looking ass. So just to recap, there was a Nobel Prize given out proving that our reality is not locally real. They're telling you that your consciousness is streamed from another dimension, and now AI can write DNA from scratch. Okay, just checking. Let's continue. So speaking of DNA, do you remember when Blackstone purchased Ancestry? And then last year, Ancestry turned around and said they wanted to buy 23andMe. One of Google's earliest genetic experiments, 23andMe, paid off. Here's what will make or break its future. Here is the CEO of 23andMe, Ann W. You can see their spouse, Sergey Brin. Sergey is the co-founder of Google. You remember the AI that can write the DNA from scratch? Well, that is from NVIDIA. NVIDIA accelerates Google quantum AI processor design with simulation of quantum device physics. I better stop right there because this rabbit hole gets really deep. But let me just say they are attempting to advertise to you in your dreams to get you to work in your dreams. If we have reached a point where they can access your dreams, which you have to go through the pineal gland, and your pineal gland, like the scene in Inception, is heavily guarded. So if they can bypass the prison guards at that point,